Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of the Goodcast Show. So today it's going to be all about the upcoming by-elections happening in Kuala Kubu Bahru. That's right, you've been hearing news coming to you thick and fast. And today I have a guest specially for this occasion. While we debate about Pakatan Harapan, Perikatan Nasional, who's going to win, perhaps this time, what stands in the way of these political behemoths is one independent candidate who was kind enough to come on the show today and discuss about her campaign, her manifesto, what she aims to do within Kuala Kubu Bahru as perhaps the new voted candidate to represent them in Parliament. Would she be a winner? Could she be a spoiler? Let's find out. Please welcome to the stage the very lovely Miss Nyau Sin, or known as Eris. I want to get into the politics as well, but before that, let's get to know you for a bit. So tell us a bit about yourself, Eris. What's your background like?
I'm 27 years old. So currently, not currently. Before that, I was working as a general manager in a logistics company. So I have a degree in human resource management in IUMW. I'm from Sabah, Vietnam.
Were you always into politics?
No.
So what made you join this race, the KKB race?
For me, it's because I want to borrow the platform of the by-election to voice out the dissatisfaction of the people.
And it's very interesting that you decided to campaign as an independent. And also, you mentioned early on in some news articles, you talked about how it is proving to be a struggle for you, and how you have to. I think you also talked about how you had to take leave from work for 2 weeks to for this campaign. So tell us about some of the challenges that you have faced during this campaigning as an independent.
The first challenge is people is questioning me. Are you a proxy or you planted by someone? That is for sure. Then as what I have made the statement, my statutory declaration saying that I'm not planted by anyone or hired by anyone to join this by-election.
But in terms of your own time, your own money, how's it been like? I mean, it must be tough.
Yes, it is. It was depending on my saving and some funds for my parents.
I champion your spirit in actually going the distance with this and campaigning. It's really amazing. This is what democracy is all about, right?
Yes.
Now, the thing that you mentioned early on, I think it was in an interview that you did where you talked about how you were frustrated, that the people were basically frustrated with the way things are in Kuala Kubu Bahru. And that is why you actually took part in this. You are actually taking part in this by-elections. But my question is, what, in your opinion, what do you think are the biggest sources of frustrations for the KKB community?
Yes, so from what I'm seeing is their welfare or their kebajikan is been cancelled or stopped for 1 year or 2 years because of they, as you know, elderly people, some of them might not know about Malays, right? The bahasa like Malaysia. So they don't know how to update their data. So they need someone who can speak, who can write bahasa Malaysia to help them to update the data.
Okay. So that means they actually need like a proper representative to actually represent their difficulties and help them with this, with all this data input and all that.
Yes.
Besides that, because you talk about, because I will get into your manifesto shortly. In fact, I like your manifesto a lot. But
you so much.
Besides the because if you look at the entire distribution of the community within KKB, I think the elderly take about 20% of the community. It's largely a younger crowd, right? I think about 46% is between 18 to 39, if I'm not mistaken. So what sort of challenges are the youth going through, that inspired you to take part in this race?
For the youth, after they finish their secondary school, they don't have the chance of pursuing to university or get a job at KKB when they finish their studies. There's
so they
lack
have to
of
leave out.
job opportunity.
And how long has this thing been going on?
5 years.
My goodness, 5 years.
Yes. Because
Wow,
I
okay.
have met some Indian youth.
Okay.
They have told me that few of the friends or the juniors, after they finish their school, they don't have the job opportunity over here, so they have to go somewhere else.
I want to get into your manifesto. If you look at the other candidates, you have DAP, you have Perikatan Nasional, you have PRM, and yourself. DAP and PN, their manifestos have 5 core principles or 5 core pillars of their manifesto. Then you have PRM who have 6, but yours has 11 initiatives. And the thing about your manifesto that I like is when I compare it to DAP, when I compare it to PN and PRM, I mean, PRM is fine, but I think DAP and PN had a little bit more vague, initiatives or plans. But yours is very specific. Like, for example, you talk about creating council to actually eliminate poverty among B40 community in KKB. You also talk about paying the registration fee for students applying to join local universities. You talk about creating bus service for the elderly senior citizens to go for their hospital checkups and all that. And then, of course, you also talk about tourism, right? So this is very comprehensive. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's 11 or 20. If I'm not mistaken,
20.
I think it's 20. 20. Sorry, my mistake. 20 initiatives you have. So how did you draw up this entire manifesto of yours? What was the inspiration to come up with 20 initiatives?
This manifesto is come up from what I have seen, what have I seen during my walkabout.
Okay, so you did your research within the community to then draft this thing. So let's talk about a few points about it. Let's talk with the one that is the most I would think the most significant, which is, of course, you talk about eradicating poverty amidst the B40 community. Now, before we get into your manifesto, what is the current situation when it comes to poverty in KKB?
From what I have seen, it's very simple. Those who are very rich is very rich. Those who are very poor is very poor. Even though you look at the house, like they may be like moderate family, but once you go inside and understand about them, they actually is very, very poor. For example, I have went to one Chinese family staying a mother and a daughter. The mother is around 70 plus, almost 80. Then she cannot walk. She have to sit in the wheelchair or sit in the chair. And the daughter she was unemployed. She just to take care of the mother. So there's no income for them. They only can get the budget from the kebajikan 500 per month. So from the 500, she have to save, like use it very wisely. Like maybe she buy one time the vegetables or chicken just for two. We'll make it as a 2 meals or 3 meals.
Another thing, of course, that has come up in this campaigning is the mention of KKB as a tourist hotspot, right? That has been there. And also you talk about in your manifesto that you want to make it a focal point, a tourist destination, right?
Yes.
How would you go about doing that?
For what I have, from what the resources I have is, there's the hiking track, which is international level. Some foreigner come to KKB just to practice, to ready themselves for Himalayan mountain.
Wow, really?
Yes.
So KKB is a spot where they train before they go to the Himalayas.
Yes.
My God, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, not so much of people know about that. In my mind is I would like to do the jungle trekking of the beauty nature, the waterfalls, everything. So my mind was thinking to do a jungle trekking over there.
Okay, that's nice. I mean, it's good that you have an eye in promoting local tourist destinations, because I think in Malaysia, throughout the country, we don't do that enough. I've been to like Pangkor Island, and I feel like, my goodness, so many things can be done in places like Ipoh and all. You may think there's nothing to do, but actually there's a lot of things to be done. You know what I mean? So it's good that you are doing it. Now, another part of it that I like is, of course, I'm very big on education, support, and all this. You talk about scholarships as well.
Yes.
Another thing you talk about is paying the registration fee for students when they go to local universities. I mean, why do you want to do this?
Because if we can help by paying the registration fee for them, some maybe they can do some part-time job to pay for their fees, or they can apply for the PTPTN, then they can pay after that. So we need to help them to take the step to the university first.
I found that very interesting, because your manifesto is very different from others, because you're very specific. You focus on you focus on senior citizen, you focus on students, and then you do things that are also the whole community. which I
Yes.
really like. Very different from the other three manifestos here. The thing about this by-elections, and I want to go into this thing first because you came out on Free Malaysia today, and you mentioned about this. Now, before I get into that, let's just look into the future for a bit. Let's make an assumption here. The assumption is that most of the Malay vote will go to PN, right? I think that's something that people predict. While the Chinese votes will, of course, will go to you, but most like, I mean, there will also be a chunk that goes to DAP.
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
but the issue now is the Indian voters.
Yes, correct.
Okay, they are fed up with they are not fed up. I think they are frustrated with
Yes,
the
yeah.
current government.
Yes.
And with PN, the problem is they are not comfortable with PAS being a component party, right? So that's the big problem here. And when I look at your comment section on your TikTok, I see a lot of support from Indian people, Indian
Yes.
families saying that there was one comment I remember, the guy said, I have my house got 8 votes, all we go to Bebas,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
So, do you? I mean, it looks like you could be the decider of where the Indian vote goes to in these coming elections, which is very important because that could decide who wins. So, do you think because of that, that is why you actually were getting calls?
Ask me to withdraw from the
Yeah,
planning.
to actually withdraw from it. Was that because you must? When I look at you, you could, if you win enough Indian votes, both PH and PN may lose because of the votes going to you. So do you think that's the reason why this happened to you? That you got called to ask to leave the elections?
Yes, it is. Because most of them were thinking I'm just to distract the votes. So
Okay.
that's why they are quite angry on me.
Okay. So that's why they have actually asked you.
Yes.
What did you respond to these people who are telling you to, hey, you know what? I think it's time you leave these elections. What were you telling them?
I just be cool, normal. I just say, oh, okay. But I don't want to take it in my heart lah.
Yeah.
Just ignore it lah.
Exactly. I think you
Yeah.
should keep doing what you're doing. What is your personal confidence level, or how do you think it will pan out on the voting day? Do you think that you will be able to garner the Chinese and Indian vote?
I think certain percentage, yes. Maybe I won't win, but I think I can save my deposit.
And my question is, after this by-elections, right? Do you plan to take a more active role in politics?
Yes. For my plan is no matter I'm win or lose, I want to open a pusat himat rakyat over there because
Okay.
KKB is very need help. They really need help. Today I have helped one family. The guy actually is unemployed for now, so I have helped him to register the STR
Wow, well done to you.
because
Well done
the
to you.
wife is working right now, but she is a cancer 4th stage patient. It's a very hard family.
It sounds like you are very you have a big heart, and you're very passionate about helping the community, right?
Yes.
Is that seems to be your main drive for this, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see it because
Because
your answers are all about you want to help people.
yes, because I was from a not so wealthy family, so I know the hardship.
Well done to you. And
Yes,
I'm, I mean, it's amazing what you're doing. People are calling the KKB by-elections as a referendum to the Madani government. Okay,
Yes.
they are saying that, of course, if PN win, then this is the voters being frustrated with PH, right? Especially the Indian voters, right, who are being called as the kingmakers of this elections. Now, putting that aside for a bit, you as an independent, your view should be more on the bigger picture, right? You are looking at both PH and PN as coalitions and other parties. So I want to ask you, what is your opinion on both coalitions, and what is your view on the direction of Malaysian politics at the moment?
Okay, from my point of view is the politics currently is a bit old-fashioned. I'm very sorry to say
Old-fashioned.
that.
No. Please,
Yes.
please be honest. Yeah, old-fashioned meaning how?
As what we can see, most of the minister is yes, they are age, they are experienced, but they didn't adapt the current generation voice. They didn't cope up with the generation. Like if youngsters, we have our own ideas. The generation is different. The gap is there. So whatever the politician is doing right now is actually, I can say 50% is not acceptable by the youngsters right now.
You think that they don't represent the youth, the current Malaysian voters, is it?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Now, another point that even for me that's been quite a thing that I've been also very critical of in my previous conversations with people is this election seemed to be done on very on race-based politics, right?
Yes.
You're
Yes.
focusing Chinese votes, Indian
Yes.
votes, especially the Indian
Yeah.
votes, right? What is your campaign strategy? And okay, but before we get to that, what is your view? Do you think that this type of politics is dangerous? I mean, what's your view about the current way of campaigning?
For me, this kind of way of politics is quite dangerous because we are a democracy country, so we have to focus on everybody, not what how to say significant race. We have to go to every
Mm,
race. We
mm,
have to go to everyone,
definitely.
no matter they are where they're from, who are they. We must go. It's
Okay.
Malaysian.
Exactly. Exactly. I completely agree. But what is your political strategy?
For my strategy is currently I just have a small team, so I just walk about whatever I can. Cause if by using the strength we have right now, it's a bit hard for me to get to put my attention on everybody in this
Mm,
so short a period of time. And we have small team also because
mm,
one house you most probably you will use around 1-2 hours to talk
okay.
to them, understand
Mm.
what's their struggle, everything on.
And in your conversations with these people, what has been the response of these houses that you go and visit? What has been their response to you?
They was very grateful that I come to visit them and try to help them. They are very grateful.
Yeah, definitely. I can see in the faces of some of the people that you visited on your TikTok. The thing about you I like is that you go to the Chinese homes, you go to the Indian homes and
Yeah.
Malay homes. You know, you're very open to things, right? You're
Yes,
very
yes,
multiracial in your approach,
yes,
which I really support, and I think it's great.
yes.
Now, what can you offer these voters that the other options or like PHPN or PRM cannot? What can you offer them?
If I really win, I will make KKB to become a better place.
Hmm.
No matter which race you are, I will help as much as I can to change the situation over there.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank
Now,
you, thank you,
before we go, no, thank you for doing this. I really
thank
appreciate it.
you,
I know
thank
you're
you,
very
thank you.
busy.
Yeah, it's
If
okay, it's okay.
I would like to come down to KKB and maybe follow
Oh,
you on your campaign trips. Maybe if
oh
I
my.
have more time, yeah, that'd be nice.
Okay. And I
But
advise you to wear sports shoe.
oh, sports shoe, is it okay?
Yes.
I will. I will. Thank you very much for that advice. I'm not much of a hiker, but I will try.
Yeah,
Now,
because we will walk a lot.
you'll walk a lot when you go out there and you
Yeah.
engage with voters. How long do you spend on the road in these, each house? I mean, not each house, but all of them. How do you spend? How many hours per day do you spend campaigning?
Campaigning, I think around 6 to 8 hours,
Six
except
to eight hours.
lunch and some tea times.
Okay, so it's really like a job, lah. It's really like
Yeah,
every day. Yeah, my
yeah.
goodness, my goodness. And you're doing this because you want the best for KKB. That's
Yes,
the only reason why you're doing it.
yes,
Okay, nice. And I like what you said. You said even if you even say if you don't win, you still want to build that center.
yes, yes.
Okay, I love it. I love it. So,
Thank
in closing, before we close, maybe share a message to the voters of KKB as to why should they vote for Eris. Calon ketiga.
you. So, hi everyone. My name is Eris, candidate number 3 for the by-election. So, why vote for me? I will try my best to help KKB as what as my manifesto stated. Vote for candidate number 3. The motto logo. Thank you.
Yes, the motor logo. Thank you.
Yes.
So the voting is on the 11th of May, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, 11th of May. So thank you so much, Eris, for
Thank you.
doing
Thank you.
this.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
inviting me. Thank you.
No problem. And I know we've I've been, you're busy and all, but I appreciate
Thanks. Okay.
you coming doing this. So thank you. And I wish you all the
Thank you.
best. I really
Thank
hope you
you.
win.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Because I like some of the comments on your TikTok. One guy said,
Uh,
he said, we need something new. So why not
yes.
vote Bebas?
Yes.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Aris.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
So there we go, guys. That was Eris just now. Really interesting character and someone who I really like, and I think that her conviction, her passion to carry out this campaign on her own, on very limited resources, spend 8 hours a day, even more sometimes, on the road, meeting people and trying to solve issues faced by the daily folk, is something that is very inspiring. And you know what, KKB, maybe if you want something new, maybe Eris is your girl. And perhaps on voting day, give her a vote and see how she performs. So thank you so much. Again, thanks to Eris for taking her time. So don't forget, vote her. Let me not get this wrong. I want to get this right. So on 11th May, if you feel compelled or you feel inspired by this candidate, her name is Nyau Kersin, Chalon number 3. And she's an independent and her icon is a motorcycle. So please cast your vote, and all the best, KKB. We'll be all, glued to the TV to see who wins. So thank you all. Take care, guys. Have a good night, and I'll see you soon. Bye.